I got tagged in this post right here. It's one of these anonymous confession stuff. Grab your popcorn because this is probably going to be a long one.
Anonymous Pinoy Confessions Content Creator. Hi, itago niyo na lang ako sa pangalang Tofu. I'm a 26-year-old writer living a very simple and quiet life. Wala akong bisyo, no drinking, no smoking, at hindi talaga ako marunong mag-party. People call me boring, and to be honest, sanay na ako doon. My days are pretty basic: writing, creating content, fixing podcast scripts, and working on a book I dream of publishing locally someday. Tahimik, routine-based, and predictable, but it was a life I felt comfortable with. I really thought that was all there was for me until I met this girl somewhere in Manila. At first, hindi ko talaga siya pinansin, not because I was rude, but because I never assumed anyone would actually notice me. Lagi ko nga sinasabi sa sarili ko, I'm boring, wala naman ako mai-offer.
Okay, a little side comment, but to anyone watching this who thinks this way, doesn't even matter if you're a guy or a girl, stop thinking like this, stop selling yourself short, stop just talking down on yourself. You really have to be your own biggest fan.
But she proved me wrong. Siya pa mismo yung nag-initiate. Little comments, small gestures, subtle ways of catching my attention. Eventually, we exchanged numbers since I don't really use social media for personal stuff. Then things started to shift. She began calling more often, random calls, late night FaceTime sessions, and as someone who rarely lets people into my world, it felt strange.
This is the problem with having no experience with women or just having no options at all. The moment you get any attention from a potential romantic partner, the chances of you getting attached prematurely are really high. I'm just bringing up the cons of being too locked in, having zero dating or romantic experience.
But comforting. She talked to me like I wasn't boring at all, like I was someone worth her time. Slowly, she started pulling me out of the quiet box I had lived in for years. As time passed, our conversations got deeper. We talked about relationships, past experiences, and even sexual topics. I was honest with her. I only had one body count, and while I had been sexually active before, it was always safe and controlled. She listened, but I could feel na may mga bagay siyang hindi masabi. There was heaviness in her voice, like she was carrying something she wasn't ready to reveal. One night, she said, I have something to tell you honestly. Kinabahan ako agad. I asked her what it was, pero bigla niyang binawi and switched topics. I did not force her. Maybe she was just not ready. 3 days later, bumalik kami sa serious and intimate conversations. And finally, she said I had to promise na hindi magbabago tingin ko sa kanya once she told me the truth. I took a deep breath and said, I'll try. I can promise perfection, but I'll do my best.
It's actually a pretty good way to answer that, because how am I supposed to promise that I won't judge you if I don't even know the context behind it?
Then she said something that felt like a warning before a storm. I've never met a guy like you.
Famous last words.
And then she finally dropped it. Tanggap mo bang content creator ako? I honestly thought she meant TikTok, YouTube, or something normal. I even told her it was no big deal. Pero sabi niya, hindi doon. So I asked, saan? And she whispered, sa Telegram. For a moment, everything went quiet. My mind went blank. My chest tightened. But I forced myself to stay calm. Naka-FaceTime kami and she was obviously scared to lose me. I asked her what she meant even though deep down alam ko na. Maybe I just needed to process. She confessed in her past. She had multiple experiences, around 8 partners, and stopped doing the more intense stuff years ago to focus on her solo content. Habang nagsasalita siya, ramdam ko yung paghigpit na sigmura ko. Not because I judged her, but because I suddenly did not know if I could handle the kind of world she came from.
It's a pretty valid reaction, to be honest. You can't just have this whole, body count doesn't matter, a woman's past doesn't matter. You can't really expect everyone to have the same opinion on that. Especially someone who's inexperienced and someone who's seemingly conservative based on how they present themselves in the story. Another thing is, if body count truly didn't matter and that a woman's past doesn't matter, then this girl shouldn't really be ashamed of talking about her experiences and what she does for a living, right?
My life was so simple. Hers was layered, complicated, and heavy. And she even offered me a free subscription to her content so I could understand. But I politely declined. I did not want to look at her through that lens. I respected her too much.
Okay, I want to talk to the guys this time. You guys realize that not seeing a potential romantic partner in any sexual way or form at all is not normal, right? The whore Madonna complex is a thing. Because if you think this way, you're basically associating sex as, disrespectful, which is totally not normal. But I guess in this situation, he's talking about not seeing her as an online hoe, basically.
And that's where the internal conflict started. Part of me admired her honesty. Hindi madali aminin yung ganong klaseng truth, especially to someone like me who lives a clean, quiet life. But another part of me questioned myself. Kaya ko ba? Compatible ba kami? Could our worlds ever meet halfway? Because I'm just a writer trying to build a peaceful life. And she's someone who carries a past and present that demands a deeper level of understanding and emotional strength. In the end, I chose to respect her. Because no matter what she did for a living or what she went through, she opened up to me fully. Something not everyone has the courage to do. And that alone deserves respect. Kahit gaano kalayo ang mundo namin.
But hey, at least you realize they're not compatible early on. But what about you guys? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. And yeah, yun lang. See ya.